I want to say welcome to the first segment of 2021. Thank you guys for joining me, the woman in the middle of it, as I jump right off into things tonight. We're going to be touching bases on a few things that happened back in 2020. We went live at our big homeless giveaway, and it was such a blessing. I really enjoyed it. Can't wait till we do it again. We're going to talk a little bit about that. But you know me, I have to start it off with giving all praises to the Most High for allowing us to even be here, allowing me to be able to even host this podcast. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. I'll do a few shout outs later because I'm already late. Thank you for all my supporters. I do appreciate it. The numbers are going up on this page, so I'm super excited about that. We're gonna talk about the homeless. I got cue cards, y'all. Aren't y'all proud of me? I am really trying to step it up and do better about stumbling over my words. And like, I had this suggestion from one of my girls who watched Favorite Fake Vegan Chick, and I should have followed her suggestion, but had to learn the hard way. So again, thanks to all my supporters. Thanks to all the people that donated. You guys showed out. We didn't have everything we needed, but the Most High, He made a way. We're going to talk about that a little bit too when I get into the people that ended up helping us. So I don't want to jump ahead of myself. Y'all know I'm good for that. So we're not going to go there. So thanks for all the donations, guys. I pray that you guys continue to give into and pour into this ministry, because we are literally, as you've seen, I went live. We are really doing what we're supposed to do with this money, with you guys' money. Money don't come easy. It's hard out here these days. So I promise you, every dime that you sow into this ministry, it will go to good use, and you'll be able to see that, because a treat bears its fruit for sure. And the Most High, He will not allow me to do this long or bless me if I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do with you guys' seeds. So you're sowing into good grounds. I want to start with that. I'm going to post a video about the homeless. We had a lot of people that were willing to talk to us, and we're going to talk about that on a later day. I probably put that into some of the clippets, so we won't talk too much. I was going to do that, but the Most High led me somewhere else with this tonight, so we'll talk more about it. But they were very appreciative. Everybody loved us being there. It was like a party. It literally was. So if you guys like hanging out and talking, you're a people person, you really need to come down there with us next time, because we were out there. It was freezing. I think it was 9 degrees on the 25th, and it was cold. We were pumped with adrenaline. We did not feel anything. It was like a big party to us. So even to them, like, they really appreciate us being there. They made a lot of comments saying how we were down to earth, and we didn't look down on them, and we just didn't come and just drop off stuff and leave. We stayed there and we interacted with them. So we got all praises to the Most High for helping us, keeping us safe. Nobody got sick from the cold, from the COVID, for anything. So He had His hands on us. He had His angels camp with us. So we're grateful to Him for that. Want to bring up a few key points of why I decided to lead with the homeless giveaway with my topic for tonight. I didn't post a topic because I really couldn't come up with one. I was just led by the Most High with this message tonight. So really didn't need a topic. I just want to touch on some statistics of why most homeless people become homeless. I don't believe it's a choice. A lot of people would beg to differ, but from my own experience, I know it wasn't a choice. We'll talk about that a little bit in a minute too. But I researched mental illness being a number one. The biggest percentage of homeless people have a mental illness background. If you're getting what I'm trying to say, they have a history of mental illness. A lot of people are trying to escape abuse. lack of affordable housing, unemployment, and then we have the drug and alcohol abuse. So where it kind of falls into the lines where it could be more of a choice, you know. But everybody, I come from a family with extensive drug abuse problems, and now that they're clean, most of them, it's like it takes over your body. You're really not good at decision making when you're addicted to a substance. So with that being said, you gotta kind of leave a little bit leeway in that too. You don't want to be so quick to judge. Why can't they just get off drugs? Why do they choose the drug over their family? Like, once it has you, it's a spirit. It's a demonic spirit, and once it has you, it takes total control. But keep those people in your prayer, especially if they're your loved ones. The Most High is real, and all praises to Him. He's delivered several of my family members, close friends, all that. So that's another show. We're gonna get into the reason why caring for the homeless is so dear to my heart. For the simple reason being, I can relate. I'm able to relate to a lot of reasons why most people become homeless. Not all of them, but I was able to pick out a couple that I'm going to pinpoint on tonight. And but just to state, I found myself homeless for a lot of the same reasons that they become homeless. So, and I really never thought about it until I was doing this last night. I planned on doing it for an hour. I was up to like almost 1 o'clock because I was really digging in, like, and I wasn't tired or anything. That's why I know the Most High wanted me to lead with this. So, the first thing was unemployment. Lack of affordable housing. A lot of people know me. I was a young mother, and it was only so many jobs that I could get, you know, being as young as I was. And I even remember forging my birth certificate so I can get my first studio apartment. I think it was 300 and I want to say 316 or 416. But anyway, it included utilities and everything. And I ended up forging my birth certificate so I can get a job at Signature. Do anybody remember Signature and KCK? Throw a heart up if you remember them. But yeah, that was the job to have. It was a telemarketing job, and I had to get a job there because it was good money. So I forged my birth certificate, used that same birth certificate to get into this place. So I was literally out here young, trying to just do my own thing. And we're going to get into that some more too. I might run over a little bit over an hour tonight, but it's going to be pretty juicy tonight. So, lived in this little bitty shack. Basically what it was, I remember I used to shut the door and put towels under the door because I was scared of the mice. Not mice, they were field rats that were running through the house. You can hear them when we were asleep. They were just roaming the house and doing their thing, but hey, it's what I did until I just was like, I can't take it no more. And then ended up going to a few shelters. So lack of employment. Really not lack of employment, just low income for us, you know, not making the money that you need to have a nice, suitable place to stay. Also, the lack of housing. So, the biggest thing that I really, really related with was a sense of unbelonging or feeling like you don't belong. So, I was a young mother, as I said before. I felt like I was a big disappointment. You know, me and my mom, we constantly bumped heads about things. I'm sure it's because what I ended up enduring was not what she envisioned for me as a child. Now that I have a child and some things that she had to endure, I totally get it now. But I didn't get it then. You know, she just wanted the best for me. And I wasn't trying to hear none of that because, as you know, 15, 16-year-old, you think you know everything. You know, so I felt like I didn't belong. I felt like I was in the way a lot. I felt like a couple reasons too. I kind of felt like I wasn't safe, you know, well, not me, my daughter. Like, you know, certain things happened to me as a child, and it was right up under my family's nose, you know what I'm saying? And I felt like, hey, that'll never happen to my kids. So I felt like I needed to move around and do what was best for me. So that was the number one thing that I felt like I related to the homeless people out there, you know, because I think a lot of them probably they would rather probably be around their family, but they feel like I'm a disappointment. They'll be better off without me. I'm just a burden. So that's how I truly felt. I truly felt that way. So I figured, okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and do my thing. Teen mom, I always felt like I was a black sheep of the family. Always. I always felt like my mom loved my brother more than me. My cousins were better than me because I got pregnant young. And not only that, me and my brother, we lived with my grandma for a nice amount of time when we were growing up. And I felt like, hey, everybody live with their mamas, you know. Everybody looked down on us like, oh, poor them. They can't live with their mama and this and this and that. So I got tired of people looking at me like that. I did not want to be viewed as this poor sympathy case. I just didn't. So I wanted to be better. So I figured, hey, I had it all put together. I'm in this big city. I'm going to go get me a good job. I'm going to do this and do that. And my intentions were good. They were good, but I still did not possess everything that I needed to be instilled in me to be out here in this big world. And we're going to talk about that too, about how the Father literally keeps you. He sends out them angels to cover you. Like, for real, if it was not for the Father and him and the prayers, the mighty prayers of the righteous, most shout out to my grandmother, may she rest in peace, and my grandma who's still living. Like she used to always say, I pray so much for y'all bloody, like for real. And I truly see that now, because there's no way that I should even made it out here by myself, young as I was, with a kid. Like I ran across a few things that were challenging, but now that I'm 40, I look back on how this world is. Like, I should not even be sitting here talking to y'all. So that's why most definitely I'm going to press forth with this set podcast and pray for the Most High to keep giving me visions and recollections on what I need to come at you guys with, because this is something that I believe is going to really, really help people, you know, because I didn't have that. And that's what I want to be for you guys. So just to share a little bit about my dreams and my goals. Like, I was a cheerleader at West Middle School. So that, even before I moved to Kansas City in Florida, I remember that's what I wanted to do. I actually wanted to go cheer for the Seminoles. But when I moved here and I tried out for the cheerleading squad, I was like, okay, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get my I'm gonna get accepted by the Seminoles. I'm moving back to Florida. I'm doing all this, and lo and behold, start doing things that I shouldn't have been doing. I think a lot of those things most likely stem from that sense of feeling like I didn't belong, and also the abuse from the childhood. Is true that people that are abused are more promiscuous, and I don't want to get too much in that because I don't understand it for myself fully to this day, but I can kind of understand it to the sense to where you don't want to disappoint nobody. You want to feel like you belong or somebody wants you. And just to give you guys some advice, don't ever feel like that, because once they get what they want from you, they're going to be gone and doing their own thing anyway. People say they care all the time, like, and I'm a true believer now. You say you care about me, I need you to show up, show and tell. I need you to not just tell it, show me that you care, because I've been let down so many times. So I can relate to the mental abuse part of it from what I just told you. You know, the sense of feeling low, that's a mental state that you're in. So, and yeah, don't want to get too much in that because I just wanted to say that, like, I can relate on the mental abuse part, the sense of being unwanted and feeling the tendencies of unbelonging. I talked about this with my mom. I always felt like I was being singled out or judged. Felt like I was an embarrassment. Talked about taking up the space. I want to talk about how I always was on the move and I lived with a few people. When I thought about it last night, I was like, dang, you live with Doris, you live with Miss Cynthia, you live with, like, I live with quite a few people. And shout out to them. I'm going to name them by name for allowing the Father to use them to nurture me, to pour into me. I talked about Miss Doris before on one of my lives, how she taught me how to shop for my daughter and use my paycheck wisely. And Mama Alexis, when me and my mom would get into it, me and Nicole, we're sisters. You'll see her all the time. Everybody swear we're real sisters, but we're sisters in Christ. We're God's sisters. And her mom used to always let me come there for a safe haven just to get a break. Miss Cynthia, shout out to Maurice Scott, my first love. Like, his mom took me in, and and they tried. His sister Ducky, shout out to my sister Ducky. I think she had a birthday not too long ago, and that's weird because I was just shouting her out for her birthday, and now I'm talking about her tonight. It's not weird, it's destined, it's ordained. So shout out to her. She even let me stay at her house, which they only stayed like right across from each other, her and her mom. But I always was running from place to place to try to find this love, to find this, like, I felt like it was a missing boy, and I regret that to this day because I did have a young kid, and I shouldn't have been moving around like that. But it was a mental illness. Like, I was literally trapped in my mind, and I couldn't get away from it. So I totally relate with them on that note. Just want to say thank you to them for opening up their doors for me. Also wanted to touch on another thing. Like, they welcomed me. They tried to love me. All these people that I stayed with, thank goodness it was women, always surveying the land over me and my kid. But like I said, I was covered. It could have been worse. It could have been men. I watched movies the other day, and it was like these women had to stay with these men just because they needed somewhere to stay, and they were using them and doing whatever they wanted to do with them. So shout out to them. And they did. They tried their best to give me all the love and make me feel secure and wrapped in love, but I wasn't accepting of that because I was in a mental condition. I had a mental condition. I was in a mental state to where nobody loved me. I was a disappointment to everybody, and just look down on myself. And that just goes to tell you guys that you got to really, really, really do some soul searching within you, because everybody in the world could try to love you, but if you don't feel that way about yourself, there's no way that you're going to be receptacle of that love that people are trying to give you. So as I said before in another live, coming with your non-negotiables. Work on you before you try to run into a relationship and expect somebody to know how to love you when you don't even know how to love yourself. So now that I'm on that, I'm telling you, like, I'm gonna be something that you don't want to even be a force to be reckoned with. That's what I am literally on, and I hate that it took me all this time to where I'm 40 to realize my worth. Like, I don't have to chase behind nobody. I don't have to settle for less, and I'm not doing that no more. So I don't want people to think that, oh, she thinks she all that, she's biggity, she got a big head, and it ain't because of this show. It's like I've just been having recollections, like, and I promise, if I can't have it the way I want, I will be by myself right in this nice little apartment home I got. So, not being boastful or bragging or anything, but the Most High, He, in order for me to do this and be this this outlet for you guys, I'm going to have to know that about myself, and I'm going to have to step my game up. I always say I love me, but I'm going to have to really show versus tell. So, getting back to this. Yeah, I was just reiterating on how I felt. I always felt like all odds was on me, and nobody was paying me no attention. Like, for real. You be thinking everybody's staring at you. Oh, they talking about me. Look how she just looked. They probably just looking off in space somewhere thinking about something, but that's how I took it. Like, I took everything as a negative, and I'm still doing that. I'm bad at that. I explained to you guys last week how you could tell me I did 5 things wrong, and one of those things, I did 5 things right, and one of those things needs improvement. And I would take that and run with it. I'll feel like, oh my gosh, they don't like me. I got to prove myself. And I've ended up wearing myself down trying to do that. So I just been praying to the Most High that He continues to help me with that. Help me not worry about, even if somebody is thinking some type of way about me, hey, they talked about him. So if they're not talking about you, something ain't right. So I've been doing better with that. So yeah, I did a lot of these already. Good. So I want to give you guys a few scriptures. You know, I always do that. But also, when I get back to analyzing yourself, start asking this question. I found myself asking this question when I was leaving homes or going to this home, this place, in and out of different relationships. I had to ask myself, analyze myself, and I asked myself the question, can everybody be wrong? And like, is everybody wrong and I'm the only one that's right in every situation? And then I started to look at some things that I could have been doing wrong. So I encourage you guys to do the same. Like, if you've been in 5 relationships and every one of them didn't work out, and you just saying, oh, well, he don't do this and she don't do this and she don't, start looking at the inward you and seeing what you can change about you. And I'm telling you, it worked. It took years, but now I see. Like, I've seen that I could be bossy. Sometimes I'm too opinionated. Sometimes I'm hard. Like, I got this motherly, overbearing spirit about me to where I just feel like I gotta fix everything. And I've been finding myself just being quiet and allowing things to happen because I'm not the father. And I just remember back how I'll try to take something out of what they're going through and try to remember when I was at that point in my life. And you know, everybody don't grow at the same speed. So I think that'll be helpful. Yeah, just talked about the regrets and the consequences from my bouncing all over. And I picked up a lot of spirits that shouldn't have been a part of me. You know what I'm saying? Spirits are real. And that's why I only let some people in my house. Like, I bless as soon as people leave. You got to be very, very careful of the spirits that you take on. Some spirits we're not meant to take on. Some relationships we're not meant to be in. Start praying about that thing. Wondering if you're supposed to be surrounded by that person. If not, hopefully you don't let it get that far to where you have to pray that person off of you. But try not to pick up spirits that you shouldn't just be around. Just want to acknowledge the Most High for His protection again. Angels are real, and I now that I'm older, I feel them. I feel them camped out over around me all the time. So and we all have them. So pray that the Father gives His angels dominion over you and release them to protect you and your children, because it's real. Okay, got a few scriptures that I want to read, but before I do that, I just want to recognize everybody by name, please, if I forget a name, because like I said, when I was thinking last night, I couldn't believe it was this many people, but it was. So if you've done something for me or my daughter, and we've had to camp out at your house, or you had to come pick me up, and you know, just stand the gap for the Most High. You allowed the Most High to use you to help me. I love you, and I'm greatly appreciative of it. Now, mine ain't what it used to be. It's never been that good. But if you need to just tap on my shoulder one day and be like, hey, you remember me? Da, da, da. And I will. I won't take it as if you're trying to boast or get me to to acknowledge you, but do that for me. I appreciate it. Like I said, Miss Doris, Miss Cynthia Hall, my sis Ducky, she gave me the name Chunky A. A lot of people don't know that name, but if you know that name, you go way back with me. But shout out to her. I love you dearly. She taught me a lot of things. My mother Alexis, may she rest in peace. My grandmother's, my auntie Seal, she let me stay with her a while too. She used to always come and give me, that's when food stamps were in the books, y'all. She used to come by when she got her food stamps. She'll make sure she gave me a book. I don't care if it was a book of one, she gave them to me when I was staying with my auntie Leslie. She helped feed me and my daughter. And this is why I have a passion for helping people, because of these people, you know. I just don't help the homeless. I help a lot of people. I love to cook. I love to feed people. I love to just be a blessing where I can be. And that's just been my heart from the start. I used to hate that. I used to be like, why do I always keep letting people in that don't deserve to be there? And it's truly a blessing. It could be a blessing and a curse, but I've been taking it more as a blessing because as from these scriptures I'm about to quote to you guys, I just realized that this whole time I've just been building my riches in heaven. Like, I don't have much here on this earth, but I have a great mansion up there, and I think that he has something great. He wants me to assist a lot of people along that way as well. So I'm just working on me, trying to be more softer and not always being bossy or pushy, or you don't have to make somebody feel low, you know, and that was never my intention. But it is what it is. If it is that, you need to call it for that and just keep on moving and try to do better. So please pray my strength in that, guys, because it's been a journey for me, and I'm still learning how to not only look at others' faults, but look at my own faults as well. So, the scripture I wanted to start with was Proverbs 19. Whoever is generous to the poor lends to Yah, and Yah will repay you for your good deeds. So, with that being said, a lot of people be thinking of money in the form of its blessings. Like, for real, favor trumps money any day in the kingdom world. Like we were talking about them angels. He may not bless you, or he may not the blessing that you put out may not come directly back to you, but it'll be showered down on your children. Have you heard the saying, what you do can affect your children and your children's children? Like, I take it as some of my good deeds we're storing up stuff for my kids and my family members, like when I'm not around. Like, my daughter don't relate to me, but she is surrounded by people, her family and other people that help her and do stuff for her, and I'm like, that's just another one of my blessings or my good deeds coming to pass for her in place, you know, because I would rather my kids be blessed over me any day. So don't always look at it as, oh, I'm gonna be, if I do this, I'm gonna be blessed. It may not fall back on you. It may trickle down on your children or your children's children. So look at it in that light. Yeah, that blessing will be one of the blessings that allows that angel to be sent out on your behalf for someone else, is what I wrote. So we want to read Luke to reiterate on why I was talking about. So it says here in Luke 14:13 through 4, when you give a feast, invite to the poor, the cripple, the lame, and the blind. You will be blessed. Expect them to repay you not, for you will be repaid at the reserved resurrection of the just, meaning the wedding feast, when the Father comes home. Like, we all are going to have positions in Yah, you know what I'm saying? And that kind of gets back to when I was talking about my mansions being stored up in heaven. Like, for real, he's going to call us and appoint us accordingly for our works that we have done on earth. So just look at it as that. You know, you always might not have the fanciest car. I don't have no car right now. So I could be looking at it as like, I ain't got no car. How he expect me to do this work and how I'm supposed to do this? But he has provided every step of the way. Somebody just came and gave me an extra car and said, hey, use it for as long as you want to. If that wasn't y'all, I don't know what is, because people just don't do that for me. You know what I'm saying? It was my brother, but hey, he loves his car. Like I said before, he loves this Pacific vehicle. I can't even believe he let me use this car, but he has, and I've been having a wow. And he will provide. He will provide. So don't look at it as, oh, poor me. Things happen, y'all, for him to have an opportunity to come through and get the glory. Like, if nothing ever happens to you, how can we say, oh, there is a Yah, or he's a miracle worker, he's a way maker? We can never say that if things don't happen. So don't always look for things to be all peachy keen in your life, because that doesn't give him room to work. So I'll read on. And then I'm going to talk about a couple ladies that I want to talk about. And I'm going to end this because I got to go back to work tonight. Okay, so please know that your good works are not done in vain, even if you can't see the payoff here on earth. You're building your mansions in heaven, brick by brick. For Proverbs 19:17 reads, whoever is generous to the poor lends to Yah and will be repaid for your good deeds. Consider helping until you can't help no more. Proverbs 21:13 confirms, he who closes his ear to the cry of the poor will himself call out and not be answered. I used to say this all the time, about, like I said earlier, about why the Father gave me the heart he did, not even realizing he was favoring me, giving me the opportunity to bless others, while all along blessing myself, building my mansion in heaven with good deeds that's done on earth. So I want to cut that short because I want to get into talking about these ladies that truly inspired me. Okay, so I told you guys about how you helped me raise this money. You guys donated items, and we went out there and fed them homeless, okay? So, for everything that we did not get, if I'm lying, I'm dying. I have people on this live. Please comment below. And Kamisha, she's a living witness. My mom's not on Facebook. Shout out to my brother Sean, my brother-in-law Sean. He said his name is Justin something, but I ain't never heard him go by that. But whatever, Justin Johnson. So we were there doing what we were supposed to do, and this lady pulled up. First lady that pulled up, her name was Rashonda Johnson. Let me pull up her text, because I texted both of these ladies last night. It's like, do you mind if I say your name? So it was Rashonda Johnson, I want to say. And Rashonda Johnson and Miss Wendy Brown. Oh my gosh. I love these ladies already and don't really know them, but I'm telling you, we were put together for a reason. So I first got a response from Rashonda. She came through. She was the first lady that come through, and she was like, I just rode by, because she was out doing her thing. And I'm gonna read to you guys what she's been doing for a while. She was doing her thing, and she came and she was like, I've been giving these things out, and I seen you guys standing here, and I'm about to go ahead and call it a day. And she gave us a bag with scarves, blankets, socks, snacks, everything in it. Nice size bag, nothing like the little bag that I had. She put me to shame. Whatever, it's all good. We all working in the kingdom together. We're better together. And I'm so glad I don't have a jealous spirit, because you will miss your blessing being jealous, people. Let that go. Come together, and do this work. So she gave it to me, and I was like, Mom, look at this. This is so nice. And da-da-da. She came back with a whole basket full of everything that we were not able to buy and raise on our own. It was brought to the forefront. I was so shocked. I'm getting chills right now. Like, I'm literally shaking because he's a provider. He's a way maker. I'm telling you, when you make one step and have the faith of not that much faith, just a small mustard seed, it will move mountains. And then after she left, here comes this other lady, Wendy Brown. And she came through, and she had the cutest little Marshalls bags, and they had the hats, nice hats and gloves, y'all. Everything that I had on my heart that I wanted to do for these people, but I didn't have it and I couldn't do it, he provided through these women. And I just want to shout out them too right now and let them know that y'all don't even know how much of a blessing that you guys were. Like, you gave me the initiative to keep on going. I'm so excited for us working together. We're trying to plan a thing for the homeless. We want to take out thermoses and give them some hot, because a lot of them ask for hot liquids. So we're going to take out hot liquids, probably a pot of beans, some cornbread, some chili, just warm things like that that'll keep warm. And that's another miracle that came about. Those casseroles, we were dishing them up for hours, and when I tell you steam was pouring off of them, if I'm lying, I'm dying. Like, I have testimonies on here. People were there to watch it. We didn't have to hook up none of our oil because we only had one chafing dish to keep that stuff warm, and we had like 8 dishes of casseroles. When I tell you, we were dipping it out, and it was hot, like steam. You could see the steam coming up out of it. I'm just telling you, it just reminded me of the story in the Bible when he fed the people, the multitude, with the two loaves and 5 fishes, or however it goes the other way around. But yeah, yes, he was all in that thing. So thank you guys for doing that. I'm gonna save Wendy's for last because I have a testimony that I want to relate to that on. Okay, so this one is from Miss Johnston. She wrote, I don't have, because I asked her what was her name and her vision and everything, because I wanted to shout her out. And she was like, I don't have a name for my organization yet. My vision is to help with not only feeding and clothing, but to provide shelter eventually. A percentage of the homeless suffer from mental illness, and a lot are veterans suffering, which is so true. So true. My hope is to provide resources to meet their needs. I try to always have care packages in my car to pass out, containing fruit, water, socks, snacks, and with COVID among us, I also include masks and hand sanitizers and a few dollars. When I cook at home, I make it a point to box up some of it for the homeless men that's regular in my neighborhood. And she gives them out downtown. She gives in any given night driving in downtown KC area. The homeless are sleeping in tents or without. Winter is way too cold for that, and in a country as great as ours, it should not be this way. I feel like I am ranting, but I hope it makes a difference, and you are making a difference. So she inboxed me after that. We talked a few more text messages, and she just wants to join in with me. And like I said, we're better together. Like, and she was doing her thing out there. So thank you for your contribute. She wants to soon have a nonprofit. We have the same goals and ambition. I don't have one, but whenever, if I get this stimulus, that's what I'm investing into. I think it's like $800 or $900. I'm going to invest in that and get that name at so many things that you should be able to do, which it don't always work out that way. But I'm praying that the Most High helps me build relationships with these stores and stuff so I can go in and get what we need to get. But we got to have that paperwork behind us first. So shout out to her. Thank you. I love you so much. You just don't know what you did for me. Next person, Miss Wendy Brown. Okay, so she's so cute. I took a picture with her. I posted it on the page, and it's just something about her. I don't even know what it is yet, but last night kind of confirmed it when we were talking, and she sent me this because I asked her the same question I asked Rashonda, and she said, "Oh, I'm not with any organization. My friends and I have been gathering items for the past 2 years and driving around on Christmas Eve handing out coats, blankets, gloves, socks, and hot meals. I was in an emotional, abusive relationship for several years. Well, several years ago, and was guided by a friend to a safe home. I was touched by how they were willing to help me and started donating Christmas gifts there, kids, toys, etc. When I got back on my feet again, it just lifts a person up. It just lifts a person's spirits. It's so easy to feel worthless in today's world. And by giving, I feel like I can let somebody know they are worthy and special." And that's crazy because I was just talking about that. I wrote all that stuff up before she sent her text message to me. And it was talking about that worthless feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, nobody don't know, like, what you can do for a person just by giving them a compliment or a hug. But to go even further, to say, hey, when I got on my feet, I didn't forget where I came from. I went right back and I helped those same people. I just felt like it was speaking to my soul and my spirit, like just confirming that you are worth it. You are worthy, Shamika. Stop selling yourself short. Stop taking what anybody just dish out to you and thinking it's okay, because it's not. It's not. So I told you last night, Wendy, that I was going to talk about that, and that's what you did for me last night. Like, I didn't want to go on and on about it because I would have been on the phone all night. It was almost 1 o'clock when we were talking, but you just gave me confirmation, and it was so hard coming up with a topic last night. And my homie always come through. He just sending me words of inspiration, you know, as he do every day. And I was like, it's crazy how when we talk, the light bulbs just start going off. And I probably got like 5 segments just from talking to Scotty last night. And he was like, well, I think that's why the Most High brought us, you know, we linked like this. And I'm like, so true, like for real. I get so many inboxes of people just talking about who you find, hey, this, how, all this sexual stuff. Y'all could keep that for real, because I'm on something so bigger to where I don't need that. If you can't be that friend that's going to support me and lift me up, because whatever the Most High won't gonna happen, you know what I'm saying? Whoever he is ordained for me to be with, that's who it's going to be. But it's just like, to have somebody to sow in you, sit up with you in these sleepless nights when you can't even think of a topic to talk about, that's deep. You know what I'm saying? That's deep. And for her to come right after him and say what she said, it just confirms like the Holy Spirit is all in the midst of this. And I just thank him. Just thank him. I'm not going to rant anymore. I hope you guys read some of them scriptures. I'm going to go over them again because I just feel the Spirit like all here right now. I really do. And I'm so thankful for him. Oh, hallelujah. Thank you, Father. If y'all ever see me praise and worship, y'all gonna be like, that girl is a worshiper for sure. I love praise and worship. Like, it's my favorite thing to do. And I never get like that right on this show. But I just feel him in the midst right now. And I just want to thank him for all his many blessings, and just just giving me the strength to do this. So Proverbs 14 and 31, go read that. Proverbs is a good book to read out of. It's another one, Proverbs 29, Proverbs 22. Just read these chapters. Luke 14, 13 through 14. Read that whole chapter. But yeah, study on your Proverbs and your if you can read one Proverbs a day, it'll make a world of difference in your life. It really, really will. It really, really will. And I'm sorry, I'm always crying on you guys, but I just want to thank you again. Shout out to everybody that helps. I cannot even name everybody that donated. Like I'm telling you, even if it was just $2, my Cash App was dinging off the hook. But you are recognized. You are in my prayers. Like the Most High knows all. So he knows exactly who you are. And I just ask you guys and encourage you guys, inbox me for prayer. You know, I love to do it. I love to pray with you guys. And that's all I got to give you right now. You know what I'm saying? If it's just a little word of encouragement or a prayer to let you know that you loved and you covered in prayer, at least, you know what I'm saying? I just want to be there for you. So inbox me some requests if you're going through something. I ain't always gonna get on here and ask for money, you know what I'm saying? And you may not even be inboxing me to say you can't help, but inbox me and just say, hey girl, how you doing? You crossed my mind. Can you say a prayer for me? I'm saying one for you. And that means the world to me. So with that being said, I gotta go back to work. They offering overtime till 11 o'clock. If y'all don't think I'm finna get it, I'm about to get it. But thanks again, everyone, for tuning in. You guys, we got our numbers up on this page. I think I wasn't sharing it on the, I wasn't live last week on this page, but we got our numbers up at just as high. So I'm gonna share this on my main page. Please, 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 you guys share it as well. You know, all the proceeds that I plan and pray to get, it's going to a great cause. And I'll see you next week. We're going to talk about some fun stuff. We're going to talk about frenemies and friends versus associates. So we're going to get down to some deep stuff. So thank you again for all your love and support weekly. Thanks for pouring into me, and I will see you guys for another segment of Woman in the Middle of It. Good night.